Hi, welcome to Unboxing Art. I'm Christopher Richards, an independent curator and collector of Northeast Ohio art. In episode 2, we're going to be unboxing an Ed Mieczkowski. He was a pioneer of the op art movement in the 1960s, formed the group, the Anonymous Group, with Ernst Benkert and Francis Hewitt here in Cleveland, and they showed in New York with the Martha Jackson Gallery, and they were in the Responsive Eye exhibition at MoMA in '65, and they also showed with the New Tendencies groups in Warsaw. So I know quite a bit about this artist. I've been collecting his work when I can, and this one was a little bit of a splurge for me. I happened upon it on a website called cherish.com, and I was actually looking for Aniszkiewicz prints. Richard Aniszkiewicz is another artist from the 1960s, and interestingly enough, they both attended the Cleveland Institute of Art with Julian Stanchek as well. I, on a whim, on Cherish, decided I'm going to type in Mieczkowski's name and see if they have anything. And of course, they did, to my surprise. They had 2 works. And I impulse bought it, not even thinking about it. And now it's in my home. So let's take a look and see what it is. So I know the image online, it looked like a piece from the 1970s, which was kind of a transitional period for him. The Anonymous Group had disbanded in 1970, which I'll get to more of that in a little bit. This painting was on paper and shipped flat, so it's in between some sturdy pieces of foam core, just to make sure, it doesn't bend or anything in the mail. And let's get this tape cut off so we can take a look and see what the piece looks like. It's got some vellum on top to protect the painting. And wow, the pinks in this are just beautiful. So as you can see, this is one of his pieces he did in 1974. It's a study for probably would have turned into like a wall construction, a shallow relief. One of the things that the Anonymous Group did was create a 4-year program where they explored perceptual psychology theories pertaining to the depth of field, playing with 2-dimensional planes and how they either overlap or how the colors differ, and how shapes interact with each other different ways to create the illusion of space, usually shallow space. This piece would have come shortly after he was interested in ideas of light and shade, and that was the last program that the Anonymous Group didn't actually complete since they disbanded in 1970. He continued to do that, making these really large-scale paintings of grids of squares, gray, white, black squares, every shade in between, and behind them he put color. So here he's put the color in the square, and he has some of these different shades of gray in the shapes that are framing the square, and there's some black down here, and then behind that even further is more saturated primary colors, reds, greens, blues, yellows. There's some pink over here as well, but primarily he's got 3 different shades of pink, kind of like a dusty pink, a more saturated pink, and then almost like a salmony pink on this side. And they also change what's used. He's got these lines that are entering into the square, which also change, like this pink here is the pink from the center, this pink here is over here, this is that pink there. And the illusion that gives, the way it moves the eye, is to kind of break the square, something that he hadn't really done before. And it almost gives the square dimensionality. It almost makes it look like pieces of it are being folded in or folded out. And he's also breaking the grid here with some of these diagonal lines that are expanded out and beyond the edge of the square. This series here, I think, is really fascinating because it leads into, from works that he was doing with the Anonymous group, it leads into works that really play with your depth perception using two-dimensional planes stacked in front of each other, and they interact. And the only way you can really appreciate works that come from this series here is by actually moving around them. It really shatters how we perceive an image based on the space in which we are looking at it. One thing I love about this piece is not that it's just an Ed Mieczkowski painting, which obviously I love, but it's who owned it before, and you don't always get to know or see who owns the work before you do. So this is just part one of unboxing Ed Mieczkowski. Next time we'll have Vivian Abrams-Collins come with me to unbox Ed's work some more, talk about how he influenced her work and continues to do so.